IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do.
In the fight, Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. Gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy. Can Crawford win a close decision? I could never win a close decision.
Crawford has same, but I just feel that Crawford's ring-eye coordination is better and he has more fire in the body left. He wants it more, in my opinion.
Lennox Lewis breaks down why he believes Terence Crawford has what it takes to beat Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing that the fight will be won more in the mind than in the body. Lewis highlights Crawford's exceptional boxing IQ, sharp movement, and ability to adapt to any situation. In his view, size will not determine the outcome because Crawford's tactical approach and intelligence allow him to neutralize larger opponents effectively. For Lewis, Crawford's adaptability and ring smarts could be the keys to outthinking and ultimately outboxing Canelo.
He's got incredible talent, incredible IQ. He understands the sport. He looks at it in a mental sense. He knows what he needs to do to stay at the top and be at the top. He moves very well. He's a very elusive mover, and his work rate is high.
I won't ask you who's going to win the fight because I know it's a question you've probably been asked a million times, but I will ask you, do you think this fight goes the distance, or do you think this fight ends inside the distance?
Interesting. Really an interesting fight to look at.
Coach Bernie offers a sharp assessment of what makes Crawford such a dangerous fighter. To him, Crawford is far more than just a skilled puncher. His precision, timing, and accuracy transform his punches into punishing blows that few opponents can endure. Bernie stresses that Canelo, despite his remarkable resume, has never faced someone with Crawford's unique blend of hand speed, sharp accuracy, and natural power. When he says Crawford's fists are like bricks, it's his way of underscoring the raw strength Crawford carries with him even as he moves up in weight.
I mean, a fight is always highly anticipated, and one this magnitude, you know what I'm saying? I think Canelo is hype too because, they know that Bud brings a different element. And the guys that he's been fighting is now superstars. Bud is a superstar. It's a mega fight. It's an underdog fight, And like I said, I'm sure they anticipate, he has trouble with movers and slick boxers and stuff like that. So they're trying to see how he deals with that. Bud fans is understandable. Canelo got the power. He got the experience, and he's one of the faces of boxing. And so, it just breeds anticipation, want to see somebody do something great. And I think that's what everybody mostly counting on. It's a lot of hate, though. A lot of people want to see us lose, and the real ones want to see us win. You know what I mean? But, all in all,
This matchup has created enormous anticipation in the boxing world. Fans and analysts alike are eager to see how Canelo, who has built his career on strength, patience, and counterpunching, will deal with an opponent as elusive and unpredictable as Crawford. Unlike many of Canelo's past challengers, Crawford will not stand still or wait to be countered. His agility, tactical sharpness, and constant movement make him a puzzle unlike anything Canelo has faced in years. More than just a clash of skills, this fight represents a collision of styles and reputations, two fighters at the very top, testing each other on every level.
Well, Bud Crawford just hits hard anyway. He got fucking bricks for hands, you know what I mean? He got baseball mitts. His hands is big as a baseball mitt. So, then he's a sharp puncher. So you gotta understand that Canelo hasn't fought a sharp puncher. Them guys wasn't sharp punchers. Magia, Berlanga, the guys, they not sharp punchers. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a sharp, it's a difference with the speed and the velocity that they're coming with. You know what I mean? If you can understand that, the quickness of the punches, the sharpness of the punches, these guys, you can see all their punches coming. You ain't gonna be able to see all Bud punches coming. You ain't gonna be able to see his punches coming, for real.
They have like one common opponent, Amir Khan?
Yeah.
Tell me, what do you think the difference is? Obviously, you've seen a highlight reel with with Canelo.
Amir Khan, having shared the ring with both men at different points in his career, brings a unique perspective. While he respects Canelo's talent and accomplishments, Khan believes Crawford wants this fight more. In his view, Crawford's determination and hunger surpass Canelo's at this stage of their careers. He points out that Canelo, despite his extraordinary achievements, has endured years of grueling battles at the elite level, leaving signs of wear and tear. By contrast, Crawford looks fresher, sharper, and more motivated. For Khan, this fight is not just about skills, it's about sacrifice, hunger, and desire. And right now, he feels Crawford is the man more willing to give everything to win.
Great timing, great feints, moves well, whereas Crawford has the same, but I just feel like Crawford's ring eye coordination is better, and he has more fire in the body left. He wants it more, in my opinion. Whereas Canelo in that last fight against the Cuban guy he fought, he just seems to me that that fire has just gone. Like, he was just getting the win and moving around and enjoying himself, which he can do, because at the end of the day, the guy, he's already cemented his legacy, so he can do that. So yeah, I got Crawford winning that fight.
And when you sparred him, when you were in the same camp with Bomac, what was it like? You have any good stories about sparring him since you were an opponent?
See, when I fought him as a fight, I didn't know what to expect. But then obviously, when I sparred with him, I would try different things to really how would I be able to beat a guy like him? And I was working on different things, and the guy is very tricky. He's a guy that always keeps on adapting your style and also keep getting better and better as the fight goes on. So yeah, he's a very, very good fighter. I do like him because he came to my camp 2-3 times, drove up to spend like 2-3 weeks with me, just give me some advice and be there with me and win with me and train with me. And so yeah, that's why them little things go a long way for me, and that's why I'll always support him and push him.
Trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards provides a reality check regarding Canelo's preparation. He notes that Canelo's decision to spar with Jaron Boots Ennis, another highly skilled and dangerous fighter, is a smart move, but ultimately symbolic. Edwards explains that sparring is never the same as a real fight. While sparring helps test strategies and gain experience against certain styles, it cannot replicate the intensity, pressure, and unpredictability of a championship fight under the lights. For Edwards, Crawford's unique skill set cannot be reduced to a sparring exercise. He views Canelo's choice to spar Ennis as part mental preparation, part public statement, but not proof that he's ready to defeat Crawford when it truly matters.
Sean, and don't do nothing in camp and then go look like $1 million in the fight. That's why fighters spend the kind of money they spend on sparring partners, because getting the look or simulating the intensity of how a fight is going to be is how you prepare for a fight. And the most important part of camp is sparring. So it didn't make me say that Canelo was going to win the fight, but it did make me say, damn, he's taking this fight serious, and that's a real good look. I respect the fact that he went out and got the best possible sparring he could find for Crawford to win this fight. I even respect when he did it, because if he would have got Boots early in camp, Boots would have probably beat his butt. You know what I mean? When you first come to camp and you're not sharp. So he got him a few weeks in the camp where maybe, what's how many weeks left for the fight? About 3 weeks left for the fight. This usually your peak time. So he got him about 3 weeks left in the camp so he can handle the work. Because again, you've been up to Philly and you've seen the work. Boots don't have bad days in the gym. He stays in the gym all the time. Yeah. So like, you could just get him off the streets and he'll go 10 or 12 rounds in the gym. He don't have bad days. I'm like, I'm not just bragging. I'm not bragging about a kid that I don't train or he's not my son. I'm just telling the truth. Like, I haven't seen him have like the off day in the gym in like 10 years. You know how sometimes a guy don't look good and you be like, oh, okay, he not doing his best. He really don't have them days. You know what I mean?
And the crazy part about it is he does more than 3-minute rounds and he never sits down. Like, never.
The symbolism behind Canelo's decision to spar with Jaron Ennis cannot be overlooked. Ennis, like Crawford, is fast, versatile, and comfortable switching stances, making him one of the few fighters capable of mimicking aspects of Crawford's style. By stepping into the ring with Ennis, Canelo likely hoped to prepare for Crawford's rhythm and unpredictability. Still, as many analysts point out, no sparring partner can truly replicate Crawford's timing, adaptability, and unique flow. While the sessions may give Canelo confidence and show fans that he is taking the challenge seriously, they are more symbolic than strategic, a gesture of preparation rather than a guarantee of success.
Moves, as Canelo's maybe not had as much experience with that since moving to 168. Usually he's the smaller guy, fighting some of the bigger guys. But that's not all this is. This is a message that Canelo is looking to replicate exactly what Terence Crawford has in his arsenal, has in his tool set, because everybody has wanted to see the Boots Ennis versus Terence Crawford fight because it's a stylistic matchup that is very interesting. Both guys fight out of both stances. That's right. Boots will fight out of southpaw and orthodox. Both guys are very good using their defense to create offense. Boots, one of the best at Philly shelling, catch countering, being able to do it out of both stances, has a beautiful check hook out of southpaw. As orthodox fighters throw their left hook, he comes over the top with his. And why would Canelo be looking for someone that could throw a beautiful lead hook and a backhand as a counter punch, rolling with their defense back to their offense? Oh wait, because that's what Terence Bud Crawford does so well. Boots is explosive. He's got great counter punch timing. He's got good awareness. His feet are good. He can walk you onto punches. He can lead the dance going first, not just looking for his counter punches, but underrated, I think, in his aggression to lead the exchanges. This is a perfect get for Canelo. And I'm not even trying to play the one side or the other. Canelo fans, Crawford fans, you're going to think whatever you want to think. But the reality is, getting this kind of sparring is a massive deal for Canelo. It's going to give him probably the best look you could get for Terence Bud Crawford outside of sparring Terence Bud Crawford. I can't understate how important even just a couple of days working with Jerron Boots Ennis is going to be for Canelo, just to see a bit of the tempo, a bit of that switching of stance, because let's be honest, there's not many guys that Canelo has fought that have fought out of both stances and done it as fluidly as Boots Ennis or as Bud Crawford will do in their fight.
One of the biggest concerns surrounding Canelo Alvarez is the visible decline in his speed and mobility. Now in his 30s, observers note that he no longer moves across the ring as quickly as he once did. This could be a critical weakness against Crawford, whose agility and constant angles force opponents into mistakes. Canelo's strengths have always been his timing, counterpunching, and ability to cut off the ring. But as questions about his stamina and footwork grow louder, doubts remain about whether he can keep up with Crawford's movement. If Canelo finds himself chasing a target he cannot catch, his vaunted power may not be enough to turn the tide. Fans and analysts alike are watching closely to see if Crawford's speed exposes this gap in Canelo's game.
Although he's holding back, you can tell. People are saying his legs, they look slower than usual, and Canelo has always been someone who's always had very slow feet. Even when he was down at 154 pounds, something that plagued him throughout the course of his career is he's just had very slow feet, you know, like cement sometimes on them. That's one of the weaknesses of Canelo, and obviously now, he's, how old is Canelo? 35 years old, 34, 35. They're gonna be, like, they were slow in your mid-20s. They're definitely gonna be slow now in your mid-30s. Before we follow up on that, just have a look there really, really quickly on screen. Please, if y'all could, hit the like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. It literally takes like 2 seconds. We're only a couple of subs off 26,300. Want to get 30k? Please, if you could help me out, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, Canelo's always had slow feet, but I think this is the bigger, I think a lot of people are more worried about this now because he's going to be in there. Essentially, he's going to be in there against someone who is really, I mean, it's obviously Crawford's last fight was at 154 pounds, but like, he's really a welterweight. You know, he did look a little bit undersized at 154. He's going to look completely undersized at 168. But the size difference, the size, you know, thing out of the equation, the speed difference is going to be vast because Crawford's always had good feet. He's always had fast feet. And if you think Canelo's feet look slow against someone like William Skull, a big, bulky 168-pounder who, at the end of the day, was just running around the ring, he's going to look even slower against Crawford. And a lot of people are saying, just based upon that training footage, oh, it's now a 50-50 fight, you know, I'm running with Terence Crawford, or that's who I'm going to go with.
Analysts also caution that while Crawford's skills are unquestionable, stepping up in weight to face a naturally bigger opponent like Canelo presents a different kind of challenge. Canelo has built his career dominating higher divisions, defeating champions known for their size, strength, and durability. That experience gives him an edge in comfort and resilience at these heavier weights, qualities Crawford has yet to prove against someone of this caliber. Crawford's speed and technical mastery may be his advantage, but they will be tested against the raw strength and proven power of Canelo Alvarez.
This is what scares me going into this Terence Crawford fight. These are the guys Canelo's typically fighting. This is his last opponent, William Sco. William Sco is far from a great opponent. When we're talking about sheer size and strength, Canelo is just way more built and used to taking on larger guys and overpowering them. Look at William Sco. This guy is jacked. He's huge, man. And that makes me think, like, if Canelo has been taking punches from guys like this, I'm not saying William Sco in particular, but guys like William Sco, the size of William Sco, and he's been dropping them, stopping them, beating them around the ring, overpowering, over-muscling, just everything, physically demanding over them. That makes me think, man, Terence Crawford, I don't know what, you gonna have to come with some heat, dog. Look at Canelo. This guy is half the size of William Sco. There's nothing cut about him. There's nothing popping out, bulging. There's nothing. Look at this. This is insanity. That's what I'm really like, dude. I don't know. Canelo could go in there and walk through Terence Crawford like a hot knife through butter. That is definitely on the table here. He gonna have to be really crafty, really savvy, and have to put on some amazing work from the outside. If he tries to sit there and walk through Canelo, he gonna hit a brick wall, dog. If guys built like this ain't walking through Canelo, even when Canelo looks like this, Terence Crawford ain't doing it, man. I gotta be honest.
Regardless of the outcome, this fight has already secured its place in boxing history. The anticipation is amplified by the fact that it will stream on Netflix, giving the event unprecedented global exposure. Millions of viewers will be able to watch two of the greatest fighters of their generation put their legacies on the line. More than just a sporting event, this has become a cultural moment, one where styles, reputations, and ambitions collide in a rare clash that defines eras.
This is huge news for boxing, UFC, and Netflix. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez will officially be on September the 13th on Netflix. Now, the reason why this is so interesting is, of course, the UFC, TKO, recently acquired their new strange boxing model with Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White promoting it, and this actually will be on Netflix. So for some context, if you don't know, the UFC are currently under negotiations with a new TV deal, and the rumours for a very long time were that of Netflix. But it doesn't look like they're going down that route anymore. Or at least it sounded like Netflix wanted a total package where they would get the major UFC fights and the major boxing fights as well. Or potentially they didn't even want the UFC fights and they just wanted a couple of these sort of events. Regardless, Dana White is officially the promoter for it, which I do believe is still bizarre. I still really think that's super bizarre, and the fact that they have quite opposing views in Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White, to be honest. Not in everything, but in how events are run. Dana White doesn't even like stadiums, first and foremost. Sergey Kovalev loves making as big of a splash as he possibly can. As fights go, for the casuals, this one is as good as it gets. It really is. Let me know what you think. As always, keep it casual.
That concludes today's video. Stay tuned for more updates.